Cada gran avance de la civilización se ha logrado a costa del sudor de los humanos. Los replicantes son el futuro, pero solo puedo fabricar unos pocos.
Yeah, well, the character in the original film continues in this film, but it's not really necessary to see the first movie in order to understand what's going on in this new Blade Runner 2049. It might enrich the experience to see the first, but it's not totally necessary. I play a Blade Runner, which is a class of policemen, a kind of policeman whose job is to retire replicants who are biologically identical to human beings. That is to say, they're not robots. Or cyborgs of some kind. They're biological creatures, but they don't have the same rights and privileges as human beings. They're created to be a workforce. So it's an interesting concept when you think about that world and think about the world we're living in. It makes you think about what we're doing to the planet, to ourselves. It's a really exciting puzzle.
There's just so much going on in the film on so many levels. It's just such a massive movie, and the world that it was creating, and the science fiction concepts, and then also the emotional themes and the character dynamics. It's just really rich and complicated, and it was getting that right. It was making sure that we gave time to all of those things and gave everything our best effort.
Creo que lo he encontrado.
No puede ser. Si llega a saberse, la guerra está garantizada.
I know that the potential for humanity to experience what is portrayed in the movie is a consequence of our behavior now. Learning to understand our dependence on nature for our survival, and not to ignore the consequences of mistreatment of nature and the capacity of nature to serve us and the rest of the biological community that's so interconnected that you can't really understand the consequences of mistreating it. And the climate science, the reality of the change in climate and the effect that it has on society is really important to observe and to believe in. We can't ignore science. It's a discipline, a critical way of understanding the world.
I wish I could talk more about the nature of that dynamic, because it's a really interesting and complicated dynamic between those two characters, but it was very cool to work with Anna and see how she handled such a complicated character. I'm excited for people to see it.
Directors are different one to another, but they both have great visual storytelling skills. They both appreciate the role of the actor in the creation of the story, and their expression of emotion is important to both of them. They're just different. One's Canadian and one is not.
Yeah, he's really not.
El futuro de la especie por fin sale a la luz.
Music inspires life.